We're just like other people. We love to sing, we love to dance, we admire beautiful women. We're human, and sometimes very human.
When I was a little kid, I liked the Rugrats. It was a cartoon on Nickelodeon's. You're sorry?
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah. Well, I saw that show a lot when I was little, and when they came out with the movie, I went to the movie, and you know, I got to watch the Rugrats with a bunch of other kids that were just excited about seeing the movie as I was, and you know, when I was little, I was like, that's a really cool thing to do. Is like you write something, you create like a different, you know, universe really, and then you get people to like follow it. It's just I loved it, and that's how I saw it. So really, the cartoons I watched when I was little made me a filmmaker.
For me, it started in high school, and it was more of like a hobby, and I would it was silly because my friends and I, we would just make up stories and stuff, and then I was like, you know, it'd be fun just to go out and film it, and so we would. And I think the turnaround was when I realized I was taking it a lot more seriously than everyone else was, and I was telling them, no, you're not acting like the right way, and I just like, I was doing like all these different angles, and I just wanted so much more out of it. And then I went off to become an English major for 2 years, and I couldn't picture myself doing the same thing over and over again for the rest of my life, just being a teacher in one classroom. And I said, so I quit, and it was going to be between psychology and film. And I decided film because I just want my life to be different every day. You know, you never know what to expect. You don't know where your life's going to go. And I think that's really cool, so it's never routine, and you can never really get bored.
I'm a producer. That's the part of filmmaking I want to do, is I want to produce stories.
And why?
And why?
Why? Because I just want to be in control of creating those things that, you know, my Rugrats. I want to create other kids' Rugrats, I guess you could put it. See, I'm a film major, but I don't really have, like, favorite filmmakers. I just like different films, you know? So, I mean, I guess if I could, one of my favorite filmmakers would have to be Seth Rogen, because I love all of his comedies. Like my favorite comedy of all time, which is Knocked Up. I love that movie. It's just it's such a good movie. So Seth Rogen, I guess.
So as a director, I think that I kind of embody me wanting to do everything, which is why I chose director. I'm interested in everything, including like editing, production design, you know, cinematography, everything. I really like cinematography a lot. I don't think I could actually like do it personally, but I definitely like keep my interests very, very wide. And that's the reason why I chose to be a director. Also, I'm a control freak. And you have to be a control freak to be a director. And so, you know, being in like the position of a production designer, I don't think I could take that, someone telling me what to do. And especially like since I'm a very visual person and I want to share my vision with others, so that's pretty much why I chose director. The thing that I like about film the most is the characters and the character development and their psychology, and I really like delving deep into people and just seeing so, you know, sometimes you can relate to the people on the screen, and I think that's really cool because it's just kind of like this universal story, and sometimes people it's like even like their story that's shown on the big screen, and I think that's really cool. And also what I really like about film and television is that it's such a powerful tool, you know, to send a message to people. And unfortunately some of the messages that we get today in like film and television aren't so great. So what I like is that potential to send out really, really good messages.
The way it brings people together, that's what's captivating about it to me. I mean, obviously when you watch the movies, what's captivating about watching them is, you know, you get lost in that world, but what I really like about television and all that stuff is it's really bringing people together, and I just see that. That's how I see the show, you know.
What I like most about it, and I mean, filmmaking in general, like everything I do and everything I like is always fun. So, you know, those two kind of go hand in hand. But the two things I think of definitely is collaboration. I love working with other people. I love getting other people's inputs on things, getting other people's ideas and thoughts about what I'm doing. I think that's really cool, and just like seeing what other people have in their mind, and just kind of, it's about psychology for me. And then the other thing I love is showing people what I see. So I think it's really cool when I can take something I see in my mind and just share it with other people when they normally wouldn't be able to.
You know, you can prepare something for a bunch of people, like, you know, like a story, and then you go and you film it, and you can prepare it however much you want, but when you get there, there's always that level of improv, which is, you know, great to see live, and you know, also good for your film in the long run. So that's my favorite part, is capturing a little burst of creativity.